So Long Beach State and CSUN back-to-back this weekend. What kind of are you hoping to see from the team in those games?
Increased execution and performance on our side of the net would be two main things that are going to help us give us the best chance to be successful this weekend. Fire away.
So the team is off to one of its best starts in years. Would you say that's because of a lot of hard work you put into practicing? Do you think that the team itself is really strong this year? And then how do you hope to kind of continue being so successful further into the season?
I think a lot of what we see from the start this year was a lot of the experience that the team gathered from last year's team in season, just in playing and having so many freshmen on the court that are all now sophomores with the returners, Taylor Greenwald, and then our seniors out there as well. I think they're starting to understand more with that experience. Just comes confidence certainly in what they're doing out there on the court. There's more of an understanding of the staff. There's more understanding of how much control they can have and what types of influences they can have on the outcome of matches. They're starting to be more accountable to one another, which is a good thing on the court. So all these things, all these little pieces kind of added up all together is just improving the quality of their execution when it comes to matches. So, if you asked probably anybody, the Hawaii match probably was obviously the biggest or toughest team we've played so far this season. But other than that match, they've been very competitive in the matches that we didn't win, and also understand that there were opportunities in all three of those matches during our preseason that we had chances to be successful and just weren't able to execute very well.
Coach, you mentioned Hawaii was the most difficult test you guys have had.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't win a set, but how well do you think you guys performed nonetheless?
If we go by set by set, we started off a little slow in the first. Thought we did a really good job of getting back into the match in that first set and kind of trading points around the 10 to 15 mark. And we were 20 all, 21 all in the first set, and had some opportunities and some situations that we actually wanted and just weren't able to execute. So, I was pleased with the first set in terms of our ability to execute a scouting report. In terms of effort, I thought they handled the environment extremely well. I don't think it was a case of nerves or the size of the crowd or location or anything. The second set was kind of polar opposite. Hawaii, I think, played one of their best sets of the year. We didn't do some things very well. I thought we got a little bit more aggressive than we needed to be offensively, almost too perfect at times, which makes players uncomfortable and try to go for a little bit more than maybe that's possible for them. In which case we made a lot of errors offensively, and Hawaii also started blocking some balls. So I think we got a little bit rattled offensively in how we're going to score points, and that set got away from us pretty quickly at the beginning, and we obviously weren't able to catch up. And the third set, I thought they came back out for the start of that set and rebounded well from set two, and very similar to set one for the majority of the set, and competed well and played hard, and we didn't have the performances from a few players at opportune times when we needed to get some points and try to separate ourselves a little bit to win a set.
So you feel like there's, regardless, nonetheless, there's still a lot you can build off of.
Oh yeah, we've got a good group. They're competitive. They're improving. We just need to put it all together for a continuous match, and obviously playing on the road at Hawaii is a difficult place for anybody. So I think they take away confidence to continue to know that when we do things well on our side of the court, we're capable of beating anybody.
Hawaii's tough, sure. Long Beach is no picnic.
Nope.
Do you like kind of playing these difficult games early in conference?
You're gonna have to play them at some point. So, it's earlier, later. We're not gonna. I don't think we see Hawaii until maybe end of October, November. So it's gonna be a while before we see them again. I don't really have a preference. Like I would choose one or the other, but I think it's being home certainly is always nice. and it's good to have, I think, at times probably a little bit more, it's easier on our players to play a team like Long Beach at home for the first time. I think being at home the first time around certainly gives you a little bit of an advantage in just being comfortable. So, but again, it really, I could care less what the order is.
You said you had a game plan against Hawaii. What's the game plan against Long Beach?
Oh, you think Jim Olaro's watching this video? We're a team that's built on ball control, on offensive speed, and defense. And take the Hawaii match, for example, and we talked to our team before that match. It's not so much a question of if we're going to generate point-scoring opportunities in transition, and that's usually the biggest difference maker in matches. You're going to side out at a certain percent, they're going to side out at a certain percent, and then there's this middle ground where rallies ensue, and how are you going to be able to terminate those balls for points? Against Hawaii and bigger, more physical teams, we need to attack well to be able to cause some chaos on their side. And if we're roll shotting or tipping lots of balls or not offensively executing well on our side, it's just going to make things easier, in which case Hawaii started using their middles more, and we're a little undersized at middle, but bigger teams that have bigger middles, Long Beach is another example, Northridge is the same way. We need to be able to get more quality swings in transition. That's kind of our main focal point right now in terms of practice and what we're working on. And it's not for a lack of arms and the ability to terminate balls. It's just we need to be better executing first and second contacts to give ourselves better swings in transition for points. So, we're still going to pass the ball well because that's what we've shown we can do for the course of this season so far. And all three of our liberos back there and Adley, who's been in the back row, are doing an excellent job defensively about keeping balls off the court. It's just a matter of us being a little bit more improved in terms of transition, our footwork, and then executing offensively in transition to score points. And if we aren't scoring points, we're at least getting good aggressive swings that are making teams react to those things defensively.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.